it was one of the better games that I've been associated with at this level. Two, you know, terrific teams and great competitors playing their hearts out for, you know, a dream that each kid has when they go to college. And there's something about when you reach this particular game and you win this particular game, it may even be more emotional than winning a national championship game sometimes, because you know how hard it was to get here. And I'm so proud of them and their sense of belief in themselves never wavered, no matter what happened, no matter who we lost, one after another. They never gave up on their dream, and now here we are.
Geno, you've talked a lot about what it means to be coaching at this stage of your life. Was there anything more meaningful than watching your players celebrate on that floor tonight?
No, there isn't. I mean, you're always trying to do as much as you can to help them achieve certain goals that they have. You know, you're there with them every day. You see how hard they work. They buy into the things that we preach every day about what's important and how to play this game and what it means to play together. And you know, so hopefully, like a lot of the coaches as well, you know, we're trying to teach them more than just about winning. But when they do win and they do accomplish something that's really difficult to accomplish, you get excited for them and you feel their excitement.
You yourself said that it might take a miracle for you guys to do this. Do you feel like this is your best coaching job at UConn, that in fact you did kind of conjure up a miracle here?
There are times when you know that you've maxed out the abilities of your players. I'm a very realistic person. You know, I don't try to put unrealistic expectations on players. And when I watched them after what's happened, I did think it would take a miracle. Yesterday was Easter, so Easter's a celebration of miracles, right? And today's April Fool's Day, so it's either a miracle or a cruel joke. But you know, we'll get there next week and find out if it's real. But I think our entire coaching staff probably worked harder at keeping it together, not so much in the, you know, what offense, what defense, and all that other stuff, and just keeping the whole thing together and not letting us kind of get frayed by all the things that have happened. You know, I talked to Lindsay before the game, and you know, we were just talking about how difficult it is to coach in a circumstance like that. So, yeah, I think our coaching staff had to deal with an enormous amount of things this year that we never had to deal with before, and I'm really, really proud of our staff. And our president, she was here and she's not here anymore. She's headed for an airplane, but I hope she reads that yes, the greatest coaching job ever done in the history of women's basketball. Paige always wants to be superhuman, and you can't aspire to be that, but she tries her damnness to be superhuman. Today she was playing against somebody that plays like they're superhuman, you know. I think that was probably the toughest matchup that any of those guards had throughout the entire season. Maybe since they've gotten to Connecticut, you know. I think JuJu's probably You know, as difficult a matchup as there is or has been for our players. But for Paige, it's, you know, this is what I live for. I live for these moments, and I think she almost looks at it as they have to guard me too. I'm a tough matchup for them, and she always tries to make it our team against their team. But I do know that she's pretty proudful of, you know, she was pointing to her 10 rebounds, and I pointed to JuJu's 10 rebounds, and you know, she had an excuse why, you know, JuJu got 10, you know, like, or why she didn't get 15. She said she was busy locking up somebody. She didn't get 15. So when you have players that think like there's nothing I can't do and there's nothing that escapes me, they're just on another level. They play the game on another level. They think it on a different level, and they inspire everybody around them. So yeah, today was Paige doing Paige things.
What is your impression of this moment for women's basketball? Obviously, two exciting matchups tonight. The star power, the attention that's being paid to these games, the audience is growing. What is your vantage point on that?
I didn't get to see the first game. You know, everybody was following it for sure. When I saw the halftime score was 45-45, I actually thought, man, I wish I was there. Like, I really want to see what's going on over there. Those people must be in for a real treat right now. It's, you know, you don't want to over dramatize it, you know, but for the longest time, it was, if someone had these kinds of moments like these kids are having right now, they were either compared automatically to men's basketball and always came up wanting, or they were, wow, look at that. Look at, like, there's actually a female athlete that can do that, you know? So it never garnered the respect factor. It was always incredulous factor. I can't believe that, you know, she plays like a guy, you know. But now it's for real. Now they're being appreciated for their incredible talents, the show that they put on, the excitement that they create on the court, the excitement that the fans feel. And God bless them. They've done it. It's almost like they've made everybody come to the 20th century, so to speak, and finally catch on with what these people are capable of doing. And it's pretty remarkable. And next weekend should be just as much fun as this weekend. But yeah, I hope Caitlin Clark had a personal agenda against LSU. And I know there's nothing personal between me and her, so I don't need to be seeing her drop 50 on us next weekend, you know? So I love her. I think she's the best player. Forget I ever said Paige is the best player in the country. I think she's the best player of all time. I don't know who ever said that I said that Paige is the best player in the country.
What skills, basketball skills, leadership skills, that Paige has that puts her on possibly the Mount Rushmore women's UConn basketball?
She's a selfless human being, so that automatically separates her from a whole bunch of other people. She takes care of her teammates better than anyone I've ever seen. Maybe, you know, there's been others, of course, but the way she shares all her good fortune, all the good things that come to her really don't mean anything to her unless she can share them with her teammates.